I am Penda James, and today I just want to thank you for joining me as I chat live with my friend, Miss Tiffany Everhart. I met her one day. I just sat next to her in church, and I was like, "Ooh, her makeup is gorgeous." And I asked her if she knew how to do makeup, and it just so happened that she was a Mary Kay representative, and she helped me with my skills in the makeup game. And since that day, she's been an accountability person for me. She's been helping me unpack and been in my mastermind. We chat over breakfast and turkey bacon. And so I want you to meet my friend. She's amazing. So, Tiffany, tell our viewers what you want them to know about you.
Um, that I'm pretty shy when it comes to speaking about myself. So I'm from Rome, Georgia. My name is Tiffany Everhart, as you already stated. I'm an artist. That's just like my favorite hobby, pastime. I don't like the pressure of doing it. I just like to do it for fun. Um, I'm an interior designer. Um, you already said I do Mary Kay. Like, I'm a business owner, new business owner. Like, I just don't know what to say about myself.
So this is what's hilarious is that we are mirror images of each other.
Right.
And so a lot that's why I think we connect on so many levels, and I can like let my hair down. I even have my gray hair is talking today, and it's usually hidden. It wanted to be seen today. I don't know, but we can
Hi.
we usually are able to have these amazing conversations just and be real and authentic without any expectations. And so
Right.
it's okay. You're talking to me, even though we have viewers who are watching us live. Hey, and we have viewers who will watch the replay. Just talk to me. Don't be nervous. We just talking. So
Okay.
we're just talking like we do. Just imagine that we're at another broken egg having turkey bacon, like and drinking tea. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
So I wanted to have this conversation with you because if anybody in Roswell knows me, you do. Other than my husband and baby girl. Like, but because I have been able to be Penda with you and talk about some of my dreams and my hopes and my goals, and I'm like, Tiffany, I don't want to do it. And you're like, do it anyway. I'm so mad at you for that. But as a result of that, like, together we have really climbed some really, really big mountains. Like even having this conversation live is not
Mountain for
easy. So
me.
I want to start with, we are twins today. I have on my shirt.
Yes, we're twins.
My chair is low or something, so you can't see it like you can see Tiffany's. But I want to introduce stand on faith and truth to the world because this is something that you've been working on for a long time. I have on one of your bracelets. She makes bracelets. She didn't say that.
Yeah.
So I just want my friends to meet my friends because I have some awesome people in my life. So what does it mean for you, Tiffany, what does this mean, stand on faith and truth? What does this mean?
It just means to me, it's like for me, it's a reminder. So when I get frustrated, when I worry, when I start, to overthink things, and I have to remember to center myself and come back to God. So stand on faith. I have faith in God, and He brought me to this point. He's not going to leave me. So that's what it means to me. Truth is the Bible, the Word of God. So I just like to stand on faith and truth. Stand on my faith and His Word. That's pretty much what it means to me. And we were in Bible study, women's Bible study, studying the book of James one month, like for a series, and we were breaking it down, and it just like really stuck in my head. So this has been like my motto for a number of years now, and I just decided to put it on a shirt. Just so, like, as I'm walking in my faith, I can remind myself and others to walk and stand in their faith.
I think of this statement, stand on faith and truth, as a declaration. Like I've been talking about writing our declarations down, putting them in our journals. And when I first saw your design, it struck me. Like it was just like, okay, where are you standing? Basically, what do you believe? And so when you say that, and it's something you've been doing, I'm glad that you did it. Like you really stepped out and did it. And I know it wasn't easy for you. So can you talk a little bit about what that process was like for you
Well,
to
like I
get there?
said, I've been holding on to this idea for a couple of years now. And even though I pray and I believe in the word, I still go to therapy. So I was talking to my therapist about it, and she basically, along with the two of you were both in my ears to like put my dreams out, put my visions out, put my creativity out into the world. And I was super shy about it. So it was nerve wracking. I remember like I probably have edited like down for at least a year, like working on fonts, working on styles, working on the name. I bought my LLC like last year. Like, so I've had it for almost 2 years now because I think I remember buying it at the end of the year. I had my domain name for 2 years. And so it's just been a process. And for me to put it out was like a huge, huge deal. And I'm thankful I have people like you in my life, like my best friends, like everyone is just telling me to put it out. And I was so nervous about what people would say. But then I had to come back and read my own statement, and my statement said, stand on faith and truth. And I had to remember this was an idea that God gave to me. So God gave it to me. It can't fail. And if I don't do the work, it's going to fail. But with Him by my side as my co chair, as the CEO of this, then yeah, it's going to thrive and it's going to succeed. So that was the process of me trying to push it out. I'm still nervous. As you see, I don't really advertise it a whole lot because I am still tweaking. I'm still like in my head about it. But then again, I made a mug and I look at the mug and it says stand on faith. So I'm like, okay, just go with it. So those are the days I will post something. I will hashtag it. I will, take a picture. Like, so I'm still working on letting the world into my creativity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you, Tawanda, for saying that you're going to support. A little later, I'm going to come back in and put Tiffany's website in there so everybody can go and purchase a shirt. Thank you for that. So, Tiffany, I was thinking about, so we're talking about stand on faith and truth, but you and I have been working on another project for 3.5 years. And so it's so funny because, like I said, we're mirror images of each other. We will tweak the death out of something.
We will.
And then never allow ourselves to get to the place where it's like, okay, we're going to release it. So, what do you think has been, for me, stand on faith and truth since I got my shirt and since I've been hearing you talk about taking this leap with your line? I have been okay with letting things go a little bit easier. But what do you think our process has been to get to that place where it's like, everything cannot be perfect. We have to do what God told us to do. Like, what do you think that was like?
I think it's more, um, it's fear, honestly. And so we just have to kind of let that go. It's fear of being judged. It's fear of people not getting it. Like fear of, I don't know, just letting people in because we are pretty much to ourselves for the most part. Like we enjoy talking, we enjoy doing things, but then we like to retreat. Like so, it's just letting people in more so than we normally would. So it's a form of fear that we hold ourselves back from. But again, we just have to trust that if God gave us this idea, like I mean, it's gonna thrive. Like, we may have to tweak it, but we have to cut ourselves off at some point. And so I'm glad we have each other, as accountability partners to do that. Say, no, just let it go. Like, working
Mhm.
on your books, your journals, like, no, just do it. Like, I'm your hype woman, you're my hype woman, so yeah, it's definitely a journey.
So, how has this theme of standing on faith and truth been a thread in your life?
um Well, I grew up, going to church, like learning about the Lord, and I got baptized at a young age. So I feel like the stand on faith is just also my history, it's also my story.
Mhm.
Like, going to a traditional Baptist church, my granny came and picked me up every Sunday, and you had to wear pantyhose. You had to look like a little lady. I was in the choir, children's choir, youth choir, usher, junior usher board, like
Yeah.
everything. And when I graduated from high school and came, like, or college and came back home, I was the Sunday school teacher because I couldn't stand sitting in this small church and all the kids were like talking and crying. I was like, no, we're going to the back. Like, so I just started that. So sometimes stand on faith to me is the thread is just being fearless, like standing on faith. Like, faith is going to keep me, faith is going to lead me, faith is going to guide me. So some of those things may have been like out of my comfort zone, but I did it by faith, and I did it also because my granny told me to, but I did it by faith.
Yeah, and also, you can we talk about your organ donation?
Yeah.
You know, just talk about it. That is a thread. That faith was a thread even in making that decision.
So I'll try to make it short and sweet, but still give you like my testimony in this, because this is something that sticks with me every day. Also, when I get discouraged, I remember this moment because I feel like God is just so awesome. How could He take something from me and put it in someone else and it still functions? The nerves, the like everything, like the whole miracle of that. I stand in awe, and I was like, if my faith was not strong then, like before then, it is very strong now. So what happened is my aunt asked everyone in the family. Well, she asked me probably about 3 to 5 years prior to her needing a kidney. She said, I think I'm going to have to need a kidney. Will you give me a kidney? I said, what? I was like, yeah. I thought she was just like having an episode where she was like maybe just took some sleepy meds or something like that. So I was like, oh yeah, sure, sure, I'll do that. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Just let me know. And fast forward to, because I didn't know what that meant. I couldn't like fathom that. I was like, donate a kidney. I've never heard of organ donation. Like, again, I come from Rome. Like, my aunt has been in and out of the hospital all my life, literally. I've like spent spring breaks, like, sleeping in the hospital rooms with her to take care of her, to be her nurse, to, she was just my favorite aunt. She taught me how to cook. She taught, well, not my
Yeah.
favorite. I'm sorry, aunties. All the aunties, all of you are my favorites at some point in time, or all the time. But you guys have different roles in my life. So she was the one that taught me how to bake and do all these things and shop. So
Yeah.
but she asked that, fast forward to like, 5 years after that, she asked everyone in the family to get tested. She was going to have to go on dialysis, and she was pretty certain that she was going to need a kidney. Um, Once she said that, it was just something came over me. Something came in my spirit like, wow, this is going to be me. This is it. Like, it's me, not trying to be arrogant, but I heard the voice saying, it's me. And I'm going to cry probably because,
It's okay.
But yeah, so I heard that and I just kept silent and I kept like a poker face. I didn't tell too many people that I was getting tested. Like, I remember, I think a little bit before she asked, Misha and I were in a horrible car accident and we spun out of control, and, I was just screaming. We were spinning down the highway and then we flipped over. It wasn't raining, it was dry. We flipped over down into an embankment and flipped on, the roof of the car. And we came out of that with just a few scratches. And I knew then God had something bigger for me, and this is what it was. So after months, like literally months of testing, I think I started testing in February, April, and then by October, I got the news that I was the match. But you have to go through all these different phases. And
Yeah.
so again, I didn't tell anyone. I finally broke down and told a best friend because I didn't want anyone to change my mind about it. I wanted to do what God had for me. And what's that song? Take Me to the King was like
Yeah.
my head, and I felt like this was my offering. Like this is my offering to the King. So I had to do it. And the crazy part is, like, during the whole process, I wasn't scared. Like, because I knew this was my calling. I knew this is what I had to do. And that was just a private conversation with me and God. Like, I just knew it. And so on my aunt's birthday, I told her. I finally told my mom, and she was worried. She was scared, but I didn't let her fear, like, get the best of me. I basically calmed her down. But I told my aunt, and she was like, "What? Really?" I wrapped it up in a gift and gave it to her as a birthday gift. And she was like super excited. And then she even started to say, "Are you sure? Are you sure we can find someone else? You haven't had kids yet. You haven't had kids yet." And I was like, I'm sure this is what I want to do. And then fast forward to, like, I think another family function. I think it was either Christmas or Thanksgiving. I told the entire family at that point. I said, I have a surprise for you guys. I have an announcement, and I started off with, I'm having. And then they were like, a baby. I was like, you know me better than that. No. And so I told them I'm giving birth to a kidney to give to my aunt. And so, that was how I told everyone. And even then, they were trying to talk me out of it. But I was like, no, it is my purpose to do this. I'd already scheduled the surgery date, everything. And, some people were still saying that they would get tested. But out of all the people that got tested, the high blood pressure ruled them out. Hemorrhoids ruled them out. Her own.
Uh-oh. I don't know if we lost you, Tiffany, but if we did, come on back in the room. So for those of you who are watching us now, I am talking to and chatting with my friend Tiffany Everhart, and she was just talking about how she had given a kidney to her auntie. She's coming back now. I think it's just so amazing that we have these moments where we know that God has given something for us to do. And when other people try to talk us out of it, you have to have that full assurance that God said to you, this is your assignment. So when we say stand on faith and truth, that's exactly what it means. It means that when you are experiencing something and everybody around you is unsure, stand on what you know with assurance, with faith, period. No matter what. She's coming back. Hey, Laura. I was just catching them up until you got back in the room. So I wanted to talk about that because I think number one is significant for us culturally. My cousin gave her kidney to her sister, and I don't know that many of us who are organ donors. And I thought it was significant because that assurance that you had to stand on your faith and give your kidney to your auntie when everyone around you, even her, try to change your mind, shows that you've been standing on faith and truth for a long time.
I have.
So what do you want people to know who are not seeing the light right now? And maybe their faith is a little bit shaky. What would you say to them so that they can now come back and stand on faith and truth?
Life is shaky. I have been in places where I was kind of dark. My grandfather passed away 2 years now. And for 1 year, I was in like a dark place, but you never would know it because I smiled, I spoke to you, but when I got home and alone in my room, I was pretty much sad. But during that time, it's also when I was creating and I was in my drawings, I was in my iPad, I was doing things like even Dandelion Dan's. I remember the day he died, I was drawing one of the images and like refining it. And so it took me a minute. I couldn't look at the image for just a little bit. It wasn't that long, but then I slowly got back into it. And just keeping up with like your daily activities when you don't want to, like eventually you'll come out of it stronger and better, and it'll be like a learning period. Like 2020 for most people is a dark period, but there's also so much good. But this is like we have to go through the fire to get to the other side. So I say just keep your head up, keep fighting, keep persevering, keep doing what you don't want to do. Like keep praying even when you don't want to pray. Because there was a time I didn't even want to pray. It's not that I didn't want to pray. Let me take that back. Because I would wake up every morning and thank the Lord like I was still alive. I had breath. But it was like I didn't want to tell anyone how I was feeling because I didn't want to hear the church verses, the Bibles, the churchy words, the feel my feelings and go through the emotions. But I knew that no matter how deep I went, that God still had me. But I needed to feel that, and I didn't want anyone to tell me that I didn't have a right to feel that. So I'm saying to those people, feel your feels, but know that, you'll come out of this on the other side and you'll have a praise, a testimony. It's like a veil lifted off of me. And I was just like, oh, thank you, Jesus, for keeping me through the storm. Thank you. Like, I know it's not over. It just let up a little bit, but thank you.
Well, what image was it?
What image?
You said you were working on the image when your grandfather passed and you didn't want to look at it. Which picture was it? Is it the car? Because that's your favorite one.
Not the car, but yes, the car is my favorite image because my grandfather loved cars and he would always walk around my car and just look at it. And it was halfway new and he would still try to see if he could fit something on it. Like if he could find something wrong to fix because he loved tinkering with cars. But I believe it was either the image with the family, everyone outside, or it was the image of the mom and daughter.
Oh, so I just want to bring our viewers into the conversation that we're having privately about this image. So we've been working on a book called Dandelion Dance, and we're going to reveal the cover. I'll put it into the comments so you can see it's ready. Our deadline is tomorrow. We can tweak only until tomorrow at midnight. We've been tweaking it to death since 3.5 years ago. And I've been writing this book. My daughter is 13 and I wrote the book when she was first born. So that tells you 13.5 years I've been tweaking this thing. Even up until Tuesday, I sent Tiffany, or maybe it was yesterday, like, I changed it again. I'm sorry, so we're going to reveal. We are, oh my God, just such mirror images, tweaking to death. That's the new term. But I'm going to share that with you all in the comments that book that Tiffany illustrated for me. It's called Dandelion Dance. It was written by me, but then as my daughter got older, she began to revise it, and now it is written by us. And so I'm really, really proud and excited about that. And I just thank you, Tiffany, for being in my village and for not allowing me to quit when times when I'm like, I don't want people to see me. Let me just be over here. And you're like, come on, we're going. You need to bring your books too, because we're going to sell them. So this is so fun. Thank you all for joining in. I know we had a little bit, we lost Tiffany for a little while, but that doesn't matter. She came back. She was standing on faith and truth, and she came right back on in the room. And I want to end with a declaration. I stand on faith and truth. Write that in your journal, y'all. Love you. Thank you for joining us.